Namaste. Myself, Dr. Safia Vinanova. I'm a Chief Consultant at Diabetes Research Clinic, Valley. I'm over here today to discuss on a topic, hormonal imbalance and diabetes. So, hormonal imbalance. So, what exactly these hormones do in our body, and how exactly it is connected to diabetes or any other metabolic diseases. So, let's say hormone is something which is very much necessary for your body for everything. Let's say to make you feel hungry. So it controls your appetite. It has to make sure like your vacation, bowel movements, and it also lets your complete your mental health or the emotions that is majorly taken care or majorly controlled by the hormones produced in your body. And so there are few basic hormones generally the general public would be aware of, like they know about this thyroid, in that they also understand hypothyroidism, hypothyroidism, depending upon that particular stimulating hormone values. So this is a basic hormone that people talk about a bit more. The people who are educated, they also say like, where was your serotonin? Where was your you were so excited. Then they'll also ask about, so you got dopamine pill or what? So people talk hormones as a language nowadays. That's what I've also seen it people. So they do understand hormones are the basic structures which controls many things in your body. So we keep saying, so that would be like a kind of your energy level to want to be to have a baby. Like there is a reproductive set of hormones which takes care of your mood swings and especially when it comes to ladies. So we also speak about there are many things in your reproductive system. And with that, we talk about PCOS. That's a very common trending disease. I would say maybe at least out of 10 people, when able to see 6 are getting diagnosed with PCOS. And it starts from the menarche, like once they get their first menstrual cycle, since then they start developing with this irregular periods as well. So basically what factor can do is hormones are a major contribution to do your day-to-day activities, routine activities. So when this basic structure or the pillar of your body start getting imbalanced, so where would I end up? And today I'm not going to pick up any other hormones. I'm going to pick up only insulin. So how is the insulin hormone imbalance would go with diabetes on? Is there any other hormone imbalance connected to insulin? So let me start with the few hormones, as I said. So sex hormones are also have a quite impact on type 2 diabetes. So in both females and males, but males, yes, it has been affected more. That is where you can also see if at all, if you're lupus liver, if you're in the type 2 diabetes, then the infertility cases, and it also reduces the many other hormones directly affects insulin as well. So we know insulin is also a hormone. Majorly, I would say there are 6 hormones which affects type 2 diabetic patients. In fact, that also especially it will be more in male sex hormones. Any imbalance with the male sex hormones, it also directly affects the libido. In turn, it also affects insulin as well. That means insulin as a hormone, I mean, that particular insulin metabolism will be affected. So let me talk about this hormone imbalance and how does it affect diabetes. Why insulin is one of the hormone which is majorly contributing to the disorder diabetes. So let's see what exactly insulin do in our body and how does the imbalance of that particular insulin would lead to in this particular diabetes disease. So first thing is insulin is majorly produced in our body from pancreas. So you would have also had that islets of long runs, that's cells through which the pancreas secrete insulin. So it only doesn't secrete only beta cells. It will also have many other cells, like alpha cells will also be there. And whenever pancreas release or produce insulin, that may be considered as another, it will be produced as a proinsulin, is what we call it as. And that again contains a C-peptide element. So C-peptide, for example, we used to have a C-peptide test maybe of a decade back. We used to get that C-peptide test also. So the more the C-peptide, the more the insulin production is happening. So again, it comes, there are another two divisions in that. So insulin production is happening, but how bad is the resistance in your body? That also matters. That is what gets you or divides you to type 1 and type 2. There is no insulin production at all, or there is a very little amount of insulin production. That depends on your C-peptidase. So we used to see like, oh, how is the C-peptidase? I don't think so. Nowadays, that test is not as such being used. But yes, that gives us a clarity. How much is the C-peptidase secreting in your body? Anyways, so once that pancreas produces the insulin, your liver also stores that particular glucose inside it in different form. That would be your glycogen form. So the liver, as I said, it is formed in the form, it is stored in liver in the form of revenue. So when does liver uses that, and when does the pancreas uses that? Let's say, like whenever you have a form, so immediately the source of energy, that's a glucose, starts rushing into your body. So then the pancreas releases the insulin according to whatever you have eaten. So to make sure that how it will be distributed. So insulin is being produced by your pancreas. So after that, once there is excess of glucose starts flowing, that will be stored in your liver, like any other form. For me, whatever the form is, it is nothing to me. I'm just trying to make you guys understand. It is not only the pancreas of producing the insulin. So liver is also like after you eat, there is excess. So why it has to store that? So that liver enzyme starts releasing that in between your meals. So whenever your sugar level starts going down, we just can't keep eating every 1.5 hours. So you know that like your food gets digested after like it should take minimum is 1 hour 30 minutes. That's why we take care of post-prandial blood sugar to check it out. How much your body is able to take care of that. So that gets me an idea how much your liver is able to store that particular insulin in the form of glycogen. So one is that. So when we speak about the hormonal imbalance, so we do have attention of other organs in your body. It's not only the pancreas which produces the insulin. It's a complete insulin metabolism which will also be contributed from your liver or the liver enzyme activities, the metabolism. So therefore, what happens? So is it always my pancreas are only not producing? So we mind he will also take care of that particular insulin metabolism. Yes, because that is also playing an equal role. When I eat 100, let's say like some 100 units of sugar I have taken, and my pancreas could release up to 60-70 units. And it is not sufficient to do that. So there is excess of sugar or energy running in my body. Who is that same meat? That is my liver. So that's tries to store it and leave it run it as your body requires it. So when we see there is a hormonal imbalance, there are many other hormones which also connected to your liver. There is a bile which produces. So there is a bile juice from your stomach. There is a stomach enzyme activity. So these are all these enzyme activities would be controlled by your hormones. So that is where there is an hormonal imbalance. The major effect of that would be seen in the insulin hormone. That would disturb our insulin metabolism. So any hormonal imbalance in the body directly connected to your insulin metabolism, which is directly connected to your sugar levels, that is diabetes. So if you ask me, in Ayurveda, how would I analyze that hormonal imbalance in your body? Certainly, we correlate that with the Pitta dosha, majorly the endocrine system, but every dosha is involved in every disease, whatever we talk, and whichever the dosha is beat more, or we say it is increased in that particular dosha, in particular disease, then depending on that, that dosha tends to priority in that. As I said, kapha is more the kapha from Bihar, as the pitta is more pitta from Bihar. So we also understand if at all anything related to hormones and the dietary lifestyle of that particular person, he has the positive factors which would increase pitta in your body. For example, having a very spicy food or having it very untimely. So it's like, and then it happened to each other when there is a pitta kala naturally in our climate, which is going on, and we have that time, we have that kind of a store or this fermented tamarind, those kind of food articles. Then that will be increased pitta dosha. That will be to affect hormones first. It doesn't affect your insulin directly. It affects the other hormones in your body. That is where most of the, if you know, like the PCOV, like where the polycystic syndrome in females, where we talk about it. So that is also majorly we ask them, are they, the kids this college going with, they eat more subject than this soil food articles. And in most of the outside baked or this panipuri, the charts, what you is, it contains more of tamarind or color base. So whenever you have that, hormones has been affected majorly, that which leads to the insulin metabolism. So you have to understand any kind of hormonal imbalance in your body directly affect your diabetes. So for example, now let's say if a lady is under menopause, the woman is undergoing a menopausal changes. So there are many hormonal imbalance happening in her body. So with her diabetes medication, and she's already a diabetic patient. So with her diabetic medications has to increase or decrease when there is another hormonal imbalance happening in her body. Yes, there is a contribution of a menopausal hormone imbalance which happens in that particular lady who is already suffering with a type 2 diabetes and she's on medications. So that would go like, depends. It is not, I'm not saying it would be mandatory, but yes, that hormonal imbalance would directly impact on the diabetes as well. So let's, if I have to talk about in a case of like not at the menopausal age, if I talk about let's say their early adulthood, so their hormonal imbalance would also affect their vaginal lining. Yes, there is a possibility of vaginal lining thickness and the thinning, the secretions, the dryness. So these are all directly controlled by the other section hormones of the body. And that would also gives results in the insulin metabolism. That would disturb the insulin metabolism of a person. So whenever, I'm not saying the complete hormone disturbs your insulin metabolism, but when your insulin metabolism is already disturbed, you're already diabetic patients, it has more triggering factor with this hormonal imbalance. One is a hormonal imbalance is a, you can consider that as a positive factor, as well as if you're already diabetic patient, then this hormonal imbalance would trigger which would lead to a increase of your medicine dosage, or it would be difficult to control your sugar levels of whoever is already on the medications guide. So let's see further if I have to talk about the threshold of your hormones. So they asked the doctor, let's see if I just have my thyroid at the borderline and it is like TSH is around 6, so it should be like below 5. And yes, for the fertility is always below 3 and not. So your TSH is on around 6, and then you are expecting, will that directly affect my diabetic medications? Yes, it does, but not in a very much. You won't see any symptomatic changes, but definitely you won't suffer with the there may be sugar level changes. So you might feel like the doctor, some patients would say, since my thyroid is increased, my postprandial is increasing. So that means that is also involving your liver metabolism. Enzyme metabolism, whichever your liver is trying to withhold and produce that form of glycogen, whichever it does store the sugar in the form of glycogen, it is struggling to produce that. So you have to understand every small changes in any other hormones of your body would directly affect your diabetes.
Put it out.
So any kind of a hormonal imbalance in your body would definitely alter your insulin hormone, and it is not something like any particular hormone goes down then it increases. Is it inversely proportional or indirectly affected? No, I would say most of the hormones which we correlate to pitta dosha majorly will have definitely on any metabolic disorder. It will have an impact on any metabolic disorder. So the major metabolic diseases like diabetes would be affected definitely by a hormonal imbalance. That would be a direct hormonal imbalance, that is an insulin hormone imbalance, or indirect any other thyroid, PCOS, or any sex hormones imbalance in the body. Everything contributes towards your insulin metabolism, as insulin is also a major hormone in your body which completely controls the glucose supply, or let's say energy which your body needs for the day-to-day activity, including all the organs as well as your brain. So this is about hormonal imbalance and diabetes. I'll be covering up a few more topics on diabetes, so you will be able to understand what's happening with your body and how exactly diabetes will be influenced by any other factors and the diet, lifestyle, everything. Thank you.